Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna go over how to draw Cleveland from either Family Guy or his new show, Cleveland Show. Not really new; it's been around for a few years now. I'm gonna go around mostly over his head because he's got kind of an odd head shape. So I'm actually gonna go over it pretty closely. So it's gonna be almost like a portrait of Cleveland. So I'm gonna be using a pencil right now, and I might be using this wet erase marker. Not sure. So all right. So I'm gonna try to draw dark enough for you to see. When you draw Cleveland's head, I like to think of it as kind of a peanut. I can put a ball down and another ball, and that kind of has a similar shape to the way his head is. Um, just generally, I'm gonna draw. You gotta watch for the proportion, the smaller balls of his eyes. Obviously, he has round balls for his eyes, like all the characters. They kind of come in between there, kind of in this mid section almost, a little bit higher than in the middle of the two larger balls. His nose is just a big. He's got kind of a Muppet nose. Almost like a triangle, but like a round, poofy triangle. He's got that mustache, which is probably his most defining feature, and that looks like a little hot dog or something wrapped around his upper lip. And then his mouth is quite a bit below, where some characters kind of have the mustache like right there above their upper lip. His is very distant from his mouth below it. His eyes, you can make it pupils, dots, rise like the other characters. And his face over here needs to be a little huskier. He's got a very similar chin to Peter. Not as similar, but he's got that cleft, that little butt on his face to kind of cap off the lower part of his face there. And you can also draw in his lower eyelids. My eye's looking a little bit scared. I could offset that by drawing a straight line over there. Cross. His forehead, there's no brow really. It goes right into the forehead. There's no brow ridge. I'm gonna draw the line over his head, his hairline. He's got a really tiny ear. Most of the characters do have a tiny ear. It's really just like a line. You can draw one line or you can draw two, like a Y inside of his ear, and that'd be fine. The rest of his hairline behind his head. And then the back of his head, kind of side of his face, almost neck, all together in one. And below that, it overlaps. He's got this chubby guy look. Over here on this side, back to his hairline, he's got kind of an African American hairstyle. So at least stereotypically. So you're gonna draw almost like little bubble wrap here, like in cartoon form. And then same thing goes for the outside of his head. I would draw lines first to kind of get your placement of where his hair is gonna be. I'll draw a line generally first. And then over that line, I would go dark, and put that pattern of his hair. He's got a lot, so I would be patient. Actually, it's a little bit lower here than I expected. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna erase that. And this is a good example of what happens when I went too deep, went too dark, too fast. I can't really erase it, so I'd have to fix it some other way later. So now that I'm done with this, I'm going to actually trace it. The shoulders there. I'm going to trace it in the marker to kind of make it pop out more. So I'm going to go into his eyeball first. It's basically going to be tracing. I'm going to trace the main lines I found before. One thing I forgot is I forgot his eyebrows. I'm going to go to his nose. Go his trademark mustache. I'm going to fill that in there. Tracing his mouth. Chin. Lower part of his neck. Tiny ear. I'm going to kind of follow the pattern, but I'm not going to keep strict to it as before. The side that's in front of his head, that's actually flat. Still feel his hair shape is a little bigger than normal, but it's fine. And now I'm going to fill in the shape. Give it more hair over here. Fill in all of it. And go over to his shoulders. Do that really quick. That's almost an afterthought. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to erase as much of the pencil line as I could. I drew a little darker than I normally did for the sake of the camera. So normally I wouldn't have had as hard a time getting rid of some of the lines that I had. And that is how you do Cleveland. Alright guys, please subscribe if you can. I'd really, really love it, you know what I mean? There are a lot of benefits to subscribing, and I really appreciate it. I spell subscribe wrong. Oh, wow. Wham. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.